Can you hear me?
Operators are standing by.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss the unidentified, the unexplainable, paranormal, conspiracies, and much more. Starring your hosts and co-hosts, Jenny Nicasio, Sean Kelly, Trish Lowe, and Jason Sledgehammer Ryan Petro. Brought to you by UPRN Network. Now for your host, Jenny Nicasio.
Evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy on UPRN FM 105.3 in New Orleans, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. I'm Jenny Nicasio along with Sean Kelly and Jason Ian Petro and Trisha Moe. Remember to like us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook Live. Happy Torture Tuesday. Is that what you say, Jason?
Happy Torture Tuesday.
Yeah, it's torture.
Yeah, I'm having all kinds of difficulties over here with my mic setup.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not the only one. It's I don't know what's going on. Can't say it's the Mercury in retrograde, right, Trish? I don't know. I don't think so.
Nah,
The moon is void, of course.
I don't know.
There's not even a star outside tonight. It's we're living in the twilight zone for
Hi,
sure.
Rhonda.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the Haunted Bay?
The Haunted
No.
Bay. No.
Okay, well, we're going to learn a little bit about it tonight with June Ahern. Oh my God, I'm having a Ahern. Is that how you say your name, sweetheart?
Ahern.
Ahern.
In America, they say Ahern and
Ahern. Well, after a near-death experience, June's life changed forever. In a short time, she realized she knew things about people and places that she probably shouldn't have knowledge of. So we're going to learn all about June tonight. So welcome to Chasing Prophecy. Welcome to Torture Tuesday, June.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone. So June, I did a lot of research on you, lady. You are, it was very interesting stuff I read. And not only did I read, but I saw a few of your videos online. Were very interesting. So tell us about yourself, June, and when did all this happen?
Well, I was a product of the 60s. And so I was a lot open to, my mother really looked at dreams and she had all of this stuff. Like, talk about the Twilight Zone. I was there when the first one came on, 1966.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then one night I went out with this crazy guy and got in an accident and had a near-death experience, ended up in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. And nowadays, if you're there for 2 days, they're like trying to get you out the door. And after that, I started having unusual, first of all, I thought it was deja vus. You know, you have people all have deja vus, but I began to know things about people that I didn't even know, like a friend's friend. And it was actually unpleasant. I cannot say that it was a good experience because at that time I didn't have anybody to turn to. I mean, we were brought up in a pretty strict Catholic household. You just didn't talk about stuff like this.
No.
And it went on from there. And I started studying the tarot, and my whole life just changed.
So a lot changed, you mean? A lot changed.
Did you, so when that happened, aside from knowing things about your friends and people close to you, did you also start knowing things about certain subjects you had never studied or locations, things like that?
Yeah, well, that didn't happen right away, but later on I would have thoughts I would share with people and about past lives. You know, I was already interested in past lives and yoga. I started doing yoga at 16, and so I was already aware of that. But other things would come up, like the tarot cards. Before I went on this date, I had a reading with the playing cards. So, and it had said you're going to have, and it predicted some of it, not exactly an accident. And I got into the tarot cards, and looking at them, I was able to read for people and know things. And later on, I would hear about them in a book, or read about them in a book, or watch something on television about them.
No,
You know,
You had read for?
Pardon me?
You would read it or watch TV about, see them on TV about the people that you had read for previously. Is that what you're saying?
That was confusing. For instance, I would tell people, if you really want to go back to yourself and heal, put a photograph at your bedside and dream and go back there. And, this is the 70s. Everything's so open now. Everybody knows all kinds of stuff. Back then, it wasn't really a main talk. You certainly didn't talk about it in public because people thought you were crazy. They would say, "Oh, that one's loony." And
you'd be put in an asylum.
Hey, June, what deck do you read from?
What?
What deck do you read?
Oh, I like the Rider Waite deck. And I find it really easy. I have all kinds of decks. I mean, I've started giving decks away because now I'm at the age to start giving things away to people. So when they do clean out my space, they treat it well. I hope. I taught the Rider Waite for years. I still use it, and I think it's just so easy to read, so easy to understand. It's easy to teach.
Okay.
I think that one's the most universal as far, because now everybody's designing decks and they all mean something different. I mean,
there are beautiful decks out there. Sometimes people don't stay to the actual what the card is saying, the message. Right. It really is the numerology and astrology. It's not just the picture on it. And I don't think people really study it. They just use them. And that's okay too, if you want to.
That's pretty interesting. I don't read tarot. I used to. That's what I started out with. But now I read the animal medicine cards.
Oh, yeah. I have those too.
I like those.
I like them.
I noticed that when I read for people would get nervous when they saw a tarot deck. Okay. But when I decided, I started to get attracted to the animals, and I started reading with the animal deck, and it made people feel more at ease when I was reading.
That's a thought. Yeah. Flip over the death card, and people like, wow.
Yeah, I know. That's not good.
No. June, how did you get involved with the Haunted Bay?
Well, Ying Lu is the producer of it. She started it as a college as a project, a class project. And I had read for her before, about probably 3 years before. Her mother passed away, and she came to me. And she called me, she emailed me, and she said, I've been working with this group called the Alameda Paranormal Investigation. We're going to do an investigation of the Zodiac Circle, here in the Bay Area. I'm from San Francisco. And she asked me, would you like to do that? And I said, absolutely not. I do not want to get involved. So I said no. And I said, and I think that you have to be very careful because some of those relatives are still alive and you're going to be airing something with a psychic. Turned out that the medium they chose fell down at one of the spots and was screaming, I'm in pain, and I just decided not to do it. And that's what I knew was going to happen. I said no. So the next place that I did say she got in touch with me was the Condor Club in San Francisco. It's an infamous strip joint. The first completely bare entertainer was there. So of course I wanted to go because nice girls didn't really go to strip joints, That's how I was. Right to get in there, and we went down there, and that's how it started. And then she asked me for a next one and the next one. And, I said okay. I would ask her. I would say to her, I got to the point where don't tell me where we're going. Don't tell me anything. I don't want people to think I looked it up online or anything. So she would just say, we're having one. This is the address or whatever. And I'll pick you up and take you.
It's interesting stuff. Now, did you feel any other presence besides the, I know there was a lot of murders there. Is there anything that stood out to you that, was memorable?
Memorable.
Really spooky. Well, there was a building called the Defenestration Building in San Francisco, and it had been there a long time. Many artists. It was like where artists would go to do their work, and it was being condemned. And so before it was condemned, Ying, I don't know, she gets access to stuff that most people can't. Anyway, we went in there, and that place there, the site it sat on was the most people that died, most death during the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco. And there was so much energy. And down in the basement area, there was a lot of the dark shadow and energy, the shadow people and or shadow entities. And it was kind of spooky. I did the whole ritual there. I did the whole incense and oils, my little special thing. And I said, this place here, there's going to be stuff happening. And at one point, there was a woman running. It turned into a transient kind of hotel, and it went through a lot of faces, this building. And the woman coming down the hallway, running at me all bloody and a nightgown and stuff. And I just said
did you actually see an apparition of that? I mean, did you actually like a physical form?
Yeah, plenty of them. Yeah. And the woman ran down, and I said to the camera guy, if I'm backing up, you better back up. I mean, because I don't get scared. that would be scary. There was another one. It hasn't been out yet. And so I can't really say much about it because it hasn't come out yet. I don't know what's holding them up. It was in a warehouse. I have never, ever, and don't want to ever. When I was Jamaica, I had a bad one too, down there in Jamaica. But that one was really bad. I actually almost fainted. They had to hold me up. And like I said, I'm a good Scottish lass, John. In front of people.
Yeah, Scottish people are gorgeous, man. They're gorgeous.
And I just couldn't breathe there. The darkness and the pulling down there. And I'm not just the only one. There were other people there that were telling me that they were having some of the workers in the warehouse. The people moved out. The business moved out. It was not a very pleasant place.
Do you find that I know when is that me echoing?
Echo.
When is that better?
Yeah.
What?
Do you find that when you're on a site like that, I know that at places that are really heavy like that, I've started having, heart palpitations and like my blood sugar will drop. And so I kind of limit myself to a certain time span. And I'll tell people that, I'm like, I can only stay here for this long so it doesn't completely kill me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you?
Ditto. And I try not to sign up for places, that I feel where we go, like, oh, I don't know if
it has a dark energy.
Do you get a lot of groups that contact you saying, hey, we're going here. Do you want to come out? Or, how does that, do you get that a lot?
I've been invited to go, you mean outside of the Haunted Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been invited by more individuals to come to their place, and I'm pretty much retired now, other than doing some presentations. So I'm really picky. I did get the Winchester Mystery House got in touch with me, and so now I'm on their little list for mediums in Northern California, and they have film crews and television stations. They do special events, and so I went down and met with them. So probably I'll be called to go down and do something at the Winchester House.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that'd be good in retirement to entertain myself. You see, I look at it as my entertainment.
Sean's next to retire.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I am getting there to retire.
If you see somebody that has like a negative aura, do you just try? What if they come to you for a reading? And you see that ahead of time, do you continue with the reading, or do you just make an excuse or to get out of it? What do you do in that situation?
I've read for thousands of people, and I do read auras. That really hasn't happened very much at all. There was only one guy that was coming to, well, actually, I shouldn't say only one guy because it happened another time, but there was a guy that was coming to me, and I felt really nervous about him. I just had a bad feeling. And I'll tell you something. So anyway, I had a gun and I put it right next to me. I just had a really bad
Damn, girl.
Maybe too
and
cautious.
I feel this bad before he comes, but when he came, it wasn't really as bad as I just try to work around it. I did cut it short. I did say, well, I'm not really getting very much, or I did cut it short. And that's very unusual, like I said, for me to feel really nervous around most people, and people. But when I feel it, I do pay attention to it.
Yeah. What if it's like an evil presence, or not so much like you're worried that he's a gangster or something like that, but especially on you never know, in Hudson Bay there's probably a lot of gangsters. But
I
like
haven't read that, well, that I know of.
no.
Well, I have read for some politicians, so there could be.
There you go. That could be demonic.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here we go.
Do you see things that, because this used to happen to me, like if I was walking through a crowd and somebody would bump me or shake my hand, especially like when I was a dealer at a casino, because that's a lot of bad energy. A lot of bad energy. I would see bad things they had done. It would be like just that. I mean, in like busy subways and stuff, I would see. I saw somebody burying a body once. You know what I mean? Like different. So it must have been like what they were ashamed of, or maybe something I don't know. Do you see things like that with people? Not that you're reading for, but just out in public, like.
No, I don't. I don't really seem to focus on dark and negativity unless it comes to me, or I just automatically see it.
Well, and I wasn't focusing on it. I didn't even know that was possible.
I mean, I have 4 people that I have met, say at a gathering or event or something, but no.
And that's what I mean. It's probably more so in locations like that, where there is more negativity.
Yeah, well, you're speaking about physically alive people, correct?
Yeah.
Because I see that in the dimensional place where the ghosts and spirits are. So no. Right. Yeah. I have not met too many.
That's pretty interesting. Is there a way that you protect yourself when you go out into public and try to avoid picking up the energies?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. Well, scrap these 2 years, going out and protecting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when I go in certain places to meet with people, I do. Even I give seances, or before I did readings, and just going out in general, if I'm uncomfortable, like big groups of people, I do a whole protection thing.
Do you?
So I may not be as deeply as if I'm going on a paranormal investigation, but there are a lot of, especially when you're in a place like San Francisco where there's a lot of people. Well, you see on the streets, but a lot of people.
A lot of different things.
So do you ever have like people who come to you that are more skeptical about the whole tarot readings and process, and then you give them a reading and then you hear back from them a little while later, like, holy smokes, she was dead on? Do you get that a lot?
I used to. Well, I'm not doing private readings anymore. That's one of the reasons. No, I used to. I would get people that come, and as soon as I see they had an attitude, I would say to them, do you really want to do this?
Oh,
right. Do this. I don't want
sense. Yeah.
Readings. And I've said to people, I remember one guy and going, you got the first base on that. I said, I didn't know it was baseball. And so I didn't have a problem with stopping them and let it just say, okay, that's it. I'm not going to take this.
That's funny.
I respect what I do.
I think mediums scare people. I think mediums scare investigators too. It's kind of funny.
No.
Well, because what I've experienced, and you probably have too, is yes, they're investigators, so they're expecting or they're wanting to find something or something to happen. And then when there's a medium there and it actually does, they're like, oh, we don't know what we signed up for.
Not my crew.
Oh,
I can say to people, would you?
Yeah.
Yes. The skeptics. You could be skeptical. I'm not against being skeptical. You should be, but people that are skeptical are actually closed. There are people that say they're skeptical but closed mind. There's people that say they're skeptical and they have an open mind to hear what you have to say and do.
Right.
I've unfortunately ran into the closed mind ones.
It's hard. It's hard not to be. I mean, there's a lot of scammers out there.
Well, you know what? Whenever, I did a lot of investigations with Jason and by myself and with other people. And when somebody comes up and says, well, I don't believe in paranormal, I don't believe in spirits, I said, well, I'll invite you on an investigation. Okay. And I tell them straight out that I am not here to change your mind that ghosts exist. Okay. And spirits don't exist. It's just 95% of the time that you go on in an investigation, it's more of a personal situation. I forget the name. The word just came. I forgot the word.
Experience.
Thank you. A personal experience. That, and when they see that or feel that personal experience, and then I don't tell them, well, look, that's a ghost. I just say, well, what do you got? How do you feel? And
that's kind of like when I first, got into the paranormal investigations with Sean back in 2013. Like growing up, I was always kind of skeptical, but I was open-minded about it. I didn't just close off the paranormal and everything else, but I really wanted to experience it myself to fully believe it. And then in 2013, after dealing with the poltergeist, that changed my whole outlook on the whole thing. And Sean could tell you all about that, but that took me from, I was open-minded about it. So it wasn't like I was skeptical and closed-minded. Then stuff happened. I'm like, well, it's this, that, and the other. Like we actually experienced it. So that just really opened everything, for me, so I see what you mean with the, skeptical and open-minded as skeptical, closed-minded. There's a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. People tell me all kinds of stuff, and some of them I just look at and go, oh boy.
Yeah.
I think being a medium is so much different than just being a psychic, because you're dealing with people's, their loved ones, and it's so much different. Just say, okay, well, I can see you're getting a boyfriend in 2025, than I see dead people. That's a big difference, I think. And they've been trying to debunk that ever since Houdini, so it's like, it's a tough subject, but you have to believe it.
Houdini, he was skeptical of mediums and psychics, wasn't he?
No, I don't believe it. I think that his wife was always having seances, and he wanted to prove that there was an afterlife.
Okay.
He promised to come back to her, and I don't know if he ever was, confirmed to be. Yeah, he did answer. I know there's so many movies about it.
Right.
It's a really cool subject, though.
And now, June, you have the book. There was a movie. Was the movie? It was last summer, in June.
No, it's still.
Or is it still in production on How to Talk with Spirits? Is that the one that?
It's a murder case that I worked on with the police. That's in the book, How to Talk with Spirits. And one thing I learned through this whole process is Hollywood doesn't always work on time.
No,
It's still happening, but they're going through, because of the whole pandemic thing. So much has been stopped in production. So I just wait and say, well, whatever. I just know that I want a little part in it. I want to be like Alfred Hitchcock. You see me looking in the glass window or something.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That was my next question. If you've had spirits come to you regarding murder cases or cold cases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've worked on murder, missing persons, missing child. I've done that with the police. The police friendly. They're
Yeah.
hard to work with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you received by them?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too.
They're probably like, yeah, okay.
The only thing difference with that is that whatever June would tell them, they cannot use that in a court of law.
But they can
Really?
investigate it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
can investigate it. It does help them feel like I'm on the right track, or I hadn't thought of that.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So
Yes.
were you is there any point in time that you were able to give like certain thoughts or evidence or something they could investigate and they actually found real evidence to your
Yes.
feelings? Yes?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's hard because you know, the psychic mind works in symbols and images and flashes of things, and they just want is that address. You know, it doesn't. There's only one real time working on a missing child. It was a parent adoption that I was actually able to give an actual address, which to me was even down. Wow, pretty good. And but that was the only time, and the child then was recovered back.
Now, do you use any, especially in cases like that, I started using different tools to help me help them, I guess, help the spirits. Do you use any type of method, I guess, to kind of decipher those puzzles that the spirits are trying to tell you?
Yeah, I usually won't right away. I wait and see what comes to me, but I could
Right.
take an article, a clothing or an article, like for a child, a toy. I could look at a photograph, maybe like that. You know, sometimes I do, but usually it just starts happening for
Right.
Yeah.
me. It's not happening. I tell people, you know, if I can't get it, I can't get it.
What would you say is the most intense experience you've had, whether it be with seeing things for police or paranormal on investigations or anything? Like, what would you say would be your most intense moment you've personally ever had?
Well, there's two, but the most intense that I always bring up to, you know, if I'm telling anything, is Jamaica. So the people in Jamaica, the Jamaicans brought me down to do some readings and to do some talks for them. And it was quite an honor. I had Jamaican clients here, and they said, "Well, they want you to go to Jamaica." And I went to a house where the husband was a doctor. I can't remember what kind of you know, cancer doctor or something. And his wife was very ill. He had taken her back to New York and back and forth. They couldn't find out anything, and she kept saying that I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. You know, she had scratches on her face and bruises.
No.
And I was down there in July, and you know, Jamaica in July is as hot as, you know, hell.
Yeah.
And I walked into her house and felt like I went to one room off the side, like a little storage room, and it was like opening up a freezer. And I just was bombarded with the stank, the smell, the decaying, and everything. Nobody else was smelling that. And we went from there. I went into the wife. She's under all these blankets. And when I walked in the room, do you remember when you were a kid and somebody would roll up a wet towel and smack you with it? How it stung?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn brothers. And that's how I was attacked. I was attacked. And this is the 90s. I didn't think about taking pictures of, you know, what happened to me, my bruises. And I was attacked like that. And the bottom line is, and that was my first any kind of experience with vampire entities, dark entities. And I just said, I wasn't equipped to do it. It just was out of it. I've gotten a little more now, but what should we do? And I said, I don't know, move. I don't know what to say. You know, what are you going to say to somebody where they're being attacked? You could cleanse the place, but cleansing doesn't always work with some of these entities.
No.
Yeah,
Have you ever taken something home with you?
Yeah, piggyback.
Unfortunately, one time. Not home from anything like that. I did when my book first came out, I did one book event. Sometimes in a week, I'd have two events, and I was giving little, you know, medium readings at them. People liked it, and I enjoyed it. I went to this one group, and I should have known when I walked in the door They had a big punch bowl and they were pouring vodka into it.
Oh.
Because they know spirits before spirit communication.
Oh, no.
You know,
That's
if you've
funny.
ever indulged in, and well,
Mm-mm.
and you have your whiskey, the water of life, right, Sean?
God.
Yeah.
And, you start seeing all kinds of stuff.
Yes, you do.
And you'll become possessed,
Yes.
not just by the liquor.
Yeah.
I had an attachment, and that was the first time in all my years, 40-something years, that I ever had an attachment. And I know it was that group of people. There was murder victims, there was suicide. People came because they had murder, suicide, baby deaths, and here I got them all in one space.
Wow.
I'd get the heck out of there.
Yeah,
Do
well,
you feel how people have died?
I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Yes.
Do you feel how, can you tell how, do they show you based on, say a person was shot in the shoulder or stomach or something? Do you feel that pain where they were injured or hurt or whatever? I know a lot of mediums, feel that when
Myself not.
and
Yeah.
it seems to be just around like really traumatic deaths, somebody that had a lot of
I years ago, the classes nobody talked about that kind of training, and so I came up with my own training, and yes I can, but I choose not to. I keep here more than 6 shots. I come out of it and I just say, okay, I'm only going to see it or hear it. But when I worked on one murder case, and I was out with the police, we were driving around to different locations. And I would tell them, go to this location, go to that location, which was all confirmed that every location I gave them, this murderer had taken this victim, this woman. And I got out of the car, and this is the day, ladies, where you still wear little nylons, little pantyhoses. And I got out of the car.
You're making Sean blush.
Yeah.
Sean, is there a secret you need to tell?
I fell down on the ground and ripped up all and crawling, like I was crawling away, screaming. And because he had been, I said, he's kicking me. And they found on her backside and her back imprints of boots that she had been kicked. And so, so I started saying, I can't do this. I can't do this kind of physically be attached to this.
Oh, by the way, happy Women's Day today for the women on here.
Including you, Sean. Yes.
No, go to hell.
No fighting.
Oh.
Hey, I we're going to do in the second hour, we're going to do some mini readings. So if you want to, I think I see there's a couple people that actually signed up in the Facebook page, but they're first. So I just want to put that out there. And before we go on, do you have any, I've never been to a medium. I've been to psychics. Okay. So like, how do you know, like, okay, looking at all four of us here, is there four of us? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count right.
Yeah.
No, do you just like, if you picked one, like if you had to pick somebody, I think there's a message for Trisha from somebody on the other side. Does that happen? Is that what happens? Or do you look when you're in a group setting?
We go to Sledgehammer.
Oh,
oh,
I'm first. Oh boy.
Yeah, I would go to him, and I would say that there's actually 3 spirits that surround him. I don't know if in spirit, if it's it almost looks like twins. So it's 2 women that are very close to each other, and they're in spirit, and they come through. They put their hand on their shoulder. You might want to consider not asking so much for spirits to like prove it to you or come through, because they're starting to become attached to you.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And
They're attached to you.
They're attached in a negative way, but they could certainly be bothersome. You go to bed and pull up the blanket. Why am I thinking of why am I thinking of the First World War? And I kind of feel like this guy's there or something like that. Well, he is. You're attracting spirits toward you. You've opened up that kind of door.
Oh, they're in his house.
My house is haunted.
He has poltergeist.
Is your house haunted? You said?
Yeah. Yeah, we got rid of the bad spirit a very long time ago.
Yeah, bad
But,
about you certainly got spirits.
yeah, the ones that are here now are all friendly, and they'll let you know they're here. They'll open doors and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nothing
just drift through.
malevolent. Yeah.
Yeah, well, most spirits are like that. Well, they're like that with me. They'll just drift through, come along. But yeah.
So
So
you said there was about 3. What do you
Yeah.
think the third one might be?
I can't pick him up. Well, him. Okay, him. I can't pick him up real clear. But he looks like somebody that would look down into a book and then want to give advice. Like, oh, I read this. This is really good. You'll want to read this. And he feels like he's got. I don't know if he had cancer in the throat, cancer, because he stopped being able to talk correctly. Sometimes you get cancer and you have those voice boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
He had the voice box, but he doesn't seem to be able to talk. So he looks down the book, and this is more of kind of a philosophical kind of book. And he talks, I think it's a little bit of telling you to lighten up.
Oh.
There you go.
And, he's not that in life, he wasn't that he was really religious, but in the spirit world, he understands the beauty in religious thoughts, not any particular religion. And I feel like he's related on your father's side. I don't think it's a complete stranger, like the two, but he does really feel on the father's side, like either your father or like that. Or you,
well, there was I did have an uncle. We're going back some years now, and he actually suffered from esophageal cancer. And they had to take his esophagus out and then stretch his stomach up, and then he passed away shortly after. I wasn't like super close with him, but he was like directly in the bloodline. So my dad was more close with him. So that's interesting.
That's cool. And so you don't have to be close. See, the thing is, it confuses people. They come to a seance and you say so-and-so, they go, oh, I'm not thinking of them. It could be their third grade teacher. It could be the neighbor. Spirits come to who they want to come to. Yeah. Not always who you ask for. Yeah. So I guess he's telling you, read a little bit more philosophical, spiritual saints.
What are you laughing at, Sean?
Sean's always laughing.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's interesting.
How about
yeah, for sure.
How about Jen?
How about Jen?
Yeah. She's been dying all week.
She probably wants to feel that dark entity coming down. No. Jen actually has some really strong angel energy that surrounds her. She is a person that she can think deep, but she doesn't always take it so personally about her. And she wants to see how to apply it. There is a beautiful, and it can be more of your mother's aunt, not necessarily yours, but she is just a very light, fair-haired. You're very dark. She's got more lighter hair, and kind of the family may have looked at her as like airy-fairy, or maybe she did actually have what we would consider a mental challenge or emotional challenge or what have you. And she seems to be connected to you in the way of playfulness. So I think you probably attract quite playful spirits around you.
Playful ones. I don't know about that. Playful. Do you have? I have a lot of. Do you have any relatives, other like closer relatives in the family, besides like
your side? It would have to be connected through mother. That's what I'm getting. Is a lot of female energy around you.
A lot of female energy. How like
yeah?
When you say a lot, you mean like more than 2, 3, or?
Well, now I'm looking only at energy, so I'm not really. There's no spirit that's coming forth to me and say, "Pick me, pick me."
Okay.
It looks like quite a bit of energy, and it has to do with a woman. It has to do with writing, as though this is a time for you to think about writing. Ooh. And whether you're writing in a book, writing. So it has to do with that.
Oh, that's good. They're telling me to write, or are they?
Yes, yeah, it has to do with writing.
Okay, guys, I'll finish the book. Damn it! I thought maybe you had it connects. Like I have I have a couple sisters that passed away, and my brother passed away, and then my dad passed away within 10 years. I thought, well, maybe
it's
somebody's
like
taking her.
around you, that's all I'm picking up. If I get something real specific, I'll say it. If I don't, and one of the spirits has to do with a lot of water.
A what?
Near the water.
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 Oh, I thought you said watcher.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
you
you
said. They deal with the water or the watch.
water.
I say water like water. It's water.
Okay,
from
so there's one
Scotland.
that's with the water.
Yeah.
It has to do with the ocean. It has to do with rocks, and the spirit sits down at the ocean.
Hmm.
And
They're
that's
from the East Coast, June. They say water really funny over there.
No, I just wondered what like if there's a spirit that hangs out at the water, like an ocean.
Well, no, the spirit that is on the other side really liked to be by the water.
My dad did.
Okay.
He loved the ocean. He never got to go back to the ocean. He never made it back when he was old. But
Yeah, so by face, and they often will show up by face or body type, the spirits are not showing to me around you. They're just like glimpses of them.
they're
There's
just
no-
like shadow people.
Well, I was going to say, do you think it's because I find it hard to read, she asked me something like that. I find it hard to read sometimes what's around her because she has a green screen.
Well, they don't have a screen. This isn't a green screen. This is just not today.
It's a fake brick wall.
It's a fake brick wall.
No.
Then that would be it.
Has anything to do with that.
On other days, sometimes how the green screen will be like
Yeah, sometimes
like
it's kind of
flashy, so
funky.
it's like an illusion. That makes it
Yeah.
hard.
Usually I pick up the message, but usually I pick up something like a description of the person or a piece of clothing that they like.
Nothing with me. There's just shadows, just glimpses of energy figures.
Well,
I'm
I
a
think
very
with
static person.
knowing that about your father, then you would want to start communicating with your father. If I'm seeing the picture of the ocean, then that is a spirit that wants to be close with you and most likely would like you to communicate with you.
It could be a mermaid.
It could be. It could be. Maybe you'll come back as a mermaid.
Oh, geez.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You
geez.
have really positive energy around you.
Well, at least I have positive energy, not negative energy.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's cool. Very cool. We got to take a station break, and I'm going to take a shout out to our good friends of mine at Old Timey Crimey. So this segment is brought to you by Old Timey Crimey. Old Timey Crimey is a historical true crime podcast hosted by Christy and Amber. They have over 150 episodes ranging from the infamous crimes like the ones we talked about tonight on The Haunted Babe, Jack the Ripper. They like to dig into wild, weird, with details and facts. And what I like about this show is they have energy and humor while telling a good crime story. Like Chicago, 1933, a young man is kidnapped with his father, and they go to great lengths to get him back. And one of my favorites is when Chrissy tells Amber the story of Mary Averly, a little girl with the best nickname ever. Mary tore up the streets of San Francisco. I'm sure you know about this one, June, in the late 1800s. In the great train robbery of 1915, 3 men tried to pull off a daring heist in West Virginia for the last big haul and missed the mark by a lot. If you enjoyed our paranormal investigation shows with crime and history, you're going to love Old Timey Crimey. True crime is better in black and white with over 150 episodes, full length, 2 bonus. They have bonus mini episodes too. And there's plenty to binge on that late night. You can't fall asleep. And you can find a link on our social media platform and a sample on our website. Old Timey Crimey, where they know that the good old days weren't always good. Thanks, Old Timey Crimey. Okay, guys, if you guys want to start signing up, we have 2. We're going to start off we're going to make sure it's at 10 o'clock. And I do believe, let's see, where is he at? He was just here. I lost him. Okay. It's under Rhonda Jacque.
Yeah.
You're going to be the first one to get a mini reading with June. So I sent you a link already, and I think I sent a few other people a link. but we're just going to take him first. And if he doesn't show up after 10, well, then we're going to move on to the next person. We're going to keep these short and sweet because we want to make sure we get it a lot, and we don't want to overburden June. And she goes home, goes and has a migraine later on. So we don't want to do too much. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Do you see anything with Trish or Sean? Do you see
There's got to be something with Sean. There has to be.
Sean, he tracks these.
Sean, did you go up to God? I don't remember the name, but the gardens, the big gardens in Scotland, and they had a lot of the fairies there, a lot of the garden fairies there, and all that energy there. Because I've seen a lot of that around you. Have you ever seen the inner child cards?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because that was designed by two people that actually used to go there. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. Because what I see around you is this tremendous amount of energy that you and another man, I don't know if your father's in spirit, but you and a man sorting out your differences, sorting out anything in your relationship by doing gardening. You're in this garden and you're working together. You're both pulling things up while you're having easy conversations. Is your father in spirit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm sure this would be your father. And just if you had any kind of, you didn't see eye to eye, that there's going to be plenty of time for you to sort this out. And if you go out into the garden and you do anything with your feet on the earth and you look at the sky and you even pull up weeds, whatever you do, your father's energy comes around you at that time.
Thank you.
That's what I pick up. Yeah.
Thank you.
Strong energy to the earth. You have strong energy to the earth.
Oh, that's good.
So you're great at healing. Healing through herbs, healing through essential oils, anything like that. You have a strong healing energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Trish.
Oh, Lord.
Gonna laugh. I just got an image of you in a past life.
Oh.
Most people do. It's funny.
Oh, okay. And forgive me for saying this if it insults.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, the gremlin's attacked.
every time.
Okay. And
You're back.
It glitched right when you said that, so I didn't hear anything you said.
maybe it means don't say that. Don't say that. What I said is that you were a working girl in a brothel.
Oh,
But what's
She does
interesting?
work in a bar.
What's interesting about this though is every reader we've had on has said, first off, they say that about me, that they see a past life, but it's all been different past lives. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and in this lifetime, it's real. And you're like this. Like, why should I judge somebody? So learning that. Why should other people judge what other people do? That's not their life. This is your life. So you really worked at being this independent, by nature, independent person, but letting people know, don't tell me what to do. Don't keep telling me what to do. And I think that probably at the age of 12 to about 14, that was a real struggling time for you to make sure that you were able to keep your voice, though it wasn't easy at all.
In my past life?
No, in this lifetime.
Yes, definitely in this life. I went on a rebellion during that age. I shaved my head and all kinds of
Okay. Past lives should really relate to, well, what did you get out of it? Past life reading to me is not good enough if it doesn't relate to the present life.
Right.
And what you're getting out of it. And that's how I've always read. If I'm going to go to a past life or pick it up, it's got to relate to this life.
Yes, I've always gotten the message to use my voice, and be independent. So,
Okay, we have Rhonda on the line. Go ahead, is it Rhonda?
Yes.
Hi, Rhonda. Can you hear her, June?
No, I can't hear her.
I'm gonna try now. Rhonda,
Hello?
can you hear her now?
I can't.
Hey, Rhonda,
Yes.
I want you to go. Can you see the chat in Paranormal?
Because I got the window up where I called you, so it won't let me see both on my phone.
Okay. All right. Can you see the chat from the live? Can you see the chat in live?
No.
She can't see the chat line.
I can hear her. With
You can hear her now? Okay, go ahead.
I can't hear much.
Hello? Hello, Jen.
You hear her now? No.
Okay. And what is your question? What is your focus? What is it you'd like to know about?
I would like to know about someone that crossed over.
Is this a woman?
I had a few that crossed over.
Well, I'm not sure about doing too many medium readings here, because that takes a lot of energy to get through. But I will say that when this woman crossed over, that it was really time in a sense of saying whatever her struggles were too great, and crossing over for her was a good relief. May not be the living seeing it that way, but it certainly was as though she was ready to do that. Would this woman be someone who had considered to be in a religion, was a religious person at one time, or grew up in a religion?
She wore a lot of religious medals.
No, okay. And you're wanting to get a message from her. Is that what it is?
Well, it was from somebody else, but like you said, the ones that you want to come through don't always come through.
Well, this really has to do with you taking stock of your own life in the way of financially. So whatever this woman must have had some difficulties keeping things together because of other people financially. So you want to look at your finances and say, where do I let it leak out because of other people's needs?
Okay.
Okay, thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Okay, now we have Carmen. She's on the show right now. Hi, Carmen.
Hi. Hi, Sean.
Welcome to Torture Tuesday.
I don't have any specific questions. Just kind of curious if there's anybody that I'm not alone, put it that way.
So you're wanting to connect with spirit?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Well, not necessarily connect. You don't have to give a message, just kind of a yes or no. Is there anybody here anybody that follows me?
Well, let me put it this way. If there's anybody that's following you, it's more like hindering you than helping you.
Yep.
And that would mean that you're either spending too much time thinking of how this person should be healed or put at peace, so you must feel like is this a young male? Is this a male?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm a great believer in prayer. Maybe not the prayer where, help me, but the prayer, I would light a candle for this spirit to be more willing to stop messing around with Earth and just move on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Carmen.
you.
Thank you.
I guess that's tough to do that.
It's kind of a different mind frame when you go into mediumship than if you're going to a psychic reading, because you're having to put forth a whole different kind of energy that's happening.
Yes.
Usually if I'm doing a seance or doing that, I spend time preparing for it. So I wasn't too sure what we were going to do. I thought it was readings. Psychic
Yeah,
readings.
that's what I thought too. I mean, yeah, I told them readings, not mediumship.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind. The thing is that people need more kind of validation and more descriptions in order that their mind, where it's been like, oh, well, I wasn't going to ask for that person, so that mind was not on the other spirit coming through. And so usually you spend a little more time with them than a quick kind of hit, though it's working out. I mean, there were two. I don't know very much if Rhonda was able to really feel what I was talking about.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So if you want a reading, you can go ahead and hit the link. But anyways,
Anyway, I'm
Psych-
having fun anyway.
Go. What's that?
I'm having fun anyway.
Yeah, we're having
Oh,
fun
yeah.
anyways.
Do
Absolutely.
you? I just read just recently. Actually, there was a spirit fair here last weekend, and I was reading about from a really old book that I don't remember the name now. That when somebody's having a seance, which I can see this because, if people sign up for it or know they're going to, if the living know they're going to go to it, that would be on their energy. And it said that in the spirit world, what they do, usually they have a representative, which, because we don't like them all talking at once. But so they go out in the, ethereal realm and kind of locate that spirit and ahead of time almost. So they're kind of looking forward to it just as much as
That's right.
or whoever. But when it's kind of on the spot like this, as far as I guess trying to explain to listeners or other people, do you find it that way too? It's kind of harder to, because spirits, I mean, there's some certain ones are easy to find and communicate with, but it's just like anything else. Like they're doing their own thing. It's not just like, come here now. I don't know that people understand that. Like your loved ones and stuff are maybe moved on. Maybe they're already reincarnated for that matter. So it's even harder then to call back that energy. And do you find that as well?
Yeah. When I'm going to do a spirit communication, I know that's what it's about. I go ahead and I get messages like I start like days before.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're calling in the whole energy. You're calling it into this space, and they may be like they may be up in the jumping with the dolphins. They're like, what are you calling me for? I get messages like
Clouthy, turn down your live. Okay, we have Kathy on the line. Go ahead, Kathy. You have a question for our reading for
Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, caller, you're on the air.
Thanks. Hi, June.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I've been thinking about my late sister a lot lately. Well, there's not too many times when I don't think about her, but I feel like she's trying to give me a kick in the butt or something. Can you tell me a little bit about her? Or she's been gone for about 20 years.
What is her name?
Her name's Deborah.
With a R-A?
D-E-B-R-A.
Away, okay, because there's different ways. Well, right away, I get the angel Michael. And I get the sense of saying that to you, she is around you a lot. You're absolutely right. She's around you a lot because sometimes she just has to hold you up when you're feeling, am I dropping into depression? And she says, no, of course you're not dropping into depression. You better start laughing a bit more. And she really would like to think that you are going to be more involved with like a new interest. Are you around animals, big animals, horses, near a horse place or kind of a country kind of setting?
Well, I live in Wasaga Beach, Ontario. It's close to farms, but I'm not really around animals that much.
It looks as if she wants you to move forward with the idea of living differently than you've been living, meaning taking up a hobby or taking up another, experimenting with some other ways of exploring. She actually looked like she's saying, let's go places, let's do things, let's get out, let's go out to check those farms out then. And she looked, let's go do something. Don't sit at home. Let's go do it. And that's what I see from her. She's actually a beautiful entity, almost like in rainbow colors. And I would say that she enjoyed pastels, she enjoyed colors. Did she go into a very dark time?
Yeah. She's had several dark times through her life.
Yeah.
We had dark times together. But
she's not in the dark time. She's saying, I'm not in the dark time anymore. It's more like a rainbow energy.
Cool.
Yeah, she's definitely, and then Archangel Michael actually surrounds her energy.
Awesome. I've been hearing a little bit more about Archangel Michael as well the last few days, so that kind of ties in.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming on.
Thanks a lot.
Real quick, Sean, did you just like almost die on us or what? What just happened?
What?
I'm just sitting here and I see you
Sean.
bouncing around like a basketball over
Dude,
there.
I
and
tell
all
you
this-
what,
what are you doing?
I have been coughing a lot lately.
Oh, no.
You know what it was? It was that macaroni and cheese with spam in it that you had for dinner.
Yeah.
It's
Spam?
regurgitating.
No.
Oh my God, don't say that. That just happened to my daughter the other day
Oh, geez,
What?
man.
with macaroni.
You know what? No. What happened, and this happened like in the last 2 weeks, to where I'm coughing a lot, to where I'm going to pass out when I
Oh,
cough.
well, you need to go to the doctors.
If you fall backwards, I'm going to laugh at first and then I'll call 911.
I got my rocking chair. But thank you for
Boys, you just see all of us, the three women, shaking our heads. We're like, they don't ever grow up.
I just looked
So-
up and I see him bouncing all over the place. I was
So,
like, what just
June,
happened?
while we wait for anybody else to come on, okay, you're psychic. Do you see anything for what? Do you have any prophecies for the next year? Because we, it's still fresh in the year for the world.
Well, like I say to my husband, it's only going to get worse.
Oh, geez, thanks. What's my say that?
There was certain things I go, oh yeah. He goes, oh, we're going to this and that's going to happen. I go, yeah, it's only going to get worse. We're in the transition, a huge cosmic transition, a changeover. And, I remember years ago, I went to parochial school, and I remember a nun saying, when Judgment Day comes, everybody will know what everybody else is thinking.
Oh,
And like, here we are. You can't do something without cookies collecting you. You can't put something on social media. Everybody knows what everybody's thinking.
Oh,
So
I
we're
know. It's sad.
in a transition. And it's only going to continue that way, whether it be from a disease to a war to worse things for the war. And I'm not saying that in a dismal way. It just where we're at.
Well, according to the Book of Revelation, we're in that. I think we're it's going the way it's supposed to go. If you believe that, if you believe that.
Good things have come out. People keep telling me bad things, but I'm going to tell you, there is more awareness of animal rights all over the world. Because I'm an animal person, I use and everything else. There's more. Yeah, there you go.
there's
And
one
I just
of them.
talk on that for a group. And there's more aware of animal rights. There's more aware of Earth. We have to take care of the Earth. We've got to stop doing all this stuff. We can't let men rule the world the way they've been ruling it. We women have to step up and say enough.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I drive a roll-off truck for work, right? So I go to the local landfill a lot, and I didn't realize, how bad, like how much we as humans just destroy the planet with trash. We're talking like 150 trucks a day, just for the one that's local. And you figure all the places all over, like instead of recycling, we just throw everything out and it's just filling up.
Well, how can we get rid of it?
And soil and everything.
There's plastic and everything could be recycled.
Yeah,
metal
plastic.
could be recycled. There's so much, but it's just easier for us to just toss it in the trash. And then before we know it, in 100 years, they're all going to be full. And then what?
Then what?
Yeah.
Well, since you're an animal person, do you read animals?
Yeah. I used to go to the horse ranch. The women, the riding women with the little
Jason's dog. Three Jason's dog.
I got this little dog's ready. This is Roman.
I like that name.
He's 6 years old.
He looks like a pretty happy little guy.
Yeah, he's pretty happy.
Looks pretty happy.
But it's interesting.
Just a little breathing stuff. It does do a little something with his breathing.
Yes, once in a while he gets this weird cough thing that a lot of small dogs get. So that's once in a while, and it's like, Roman, you okay?
Maybe a little cool air for him. What do you do when the little water goes up and makes the air a little cool? Might be good for him.
Yeah, we'll have to try it. We usually just try to calm him down, because he gets really wound up when that happens. So we try to just be like, "Hey, calm down, buddy," and then he'll start to get out of it. But I'll definitely try that method.
Yeah, kind of. When you spray yourself.
Do you have to have the animal, like, do you have to look at it? Because if I told you something, could you tell me, since you're psychic? I have a dog, a 6-year-old German Shepherd. Its sister has a disease. It's called DM, which is, I can't remember the name of it. It's a degenerate myelopathy.
Tell me too much. I mean, yeah, just tell me the dog's name.
Well, Ava. I just wondered if she's going to have any problems. Her sister has a problem, and she's losing her hind legs.
Well, I think that's a very German Shepherd thing.
Yeah,
and a lot of problems in their.
Well, it's a genetic disease, and I was just wondering, do you see Ava having that?
It's the arthritis. You have to really be aware of her arthritis. So you can look up doggy things to find out, what's going on with the arthritis. Did he just fall over, Sean?
No. Oh, Sean. I don't know.
I just wondered.
I hear him. Sean, are you still alive? Earth to Sean.
I always wonder, because my dog, she's always following me around. She can read my mind, and I was like, was she here? Was she a dog that I had in a previous? Was she a dog that I had reincarnated? Maybe.
I don't pick that, but our animals, dogs and cats, they can reincarnate as humans. They have reached that particular level of connection.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
With humans. I'll tell you a very interesting story.
Yeah.
Time. Even shocked me. Not a lot of stuff. I've heard so much stuff. But so I had this standard poodle. I didn't want her. Somebody gave her to me to watch for 2 weeks and never came back. I wanted a boxer. I didn't want a poodle. And oh my God, I had no idea how great poodles are. Yeah, beautiful big white standard poodle, and I loved her. She lived till 16 and a half. When she transitioned over, she did it right on. I was late coming home from work. She transitioned right by where I sit. She came right there, and I was grieving very heavily. Well, about less than a year, we had a little pit bull too. I'm walking my pit bull, and this woman like Daryl Hannah, kind of tall, blonde, very slender, was walking toward me. And I went, oh, that woman reminded me of Daryl Hannah. Not that I even, think about Daryl Hannah. And she goes by and she says to me, don't you know me, June? I'm Phoebe. That was my dog's name.
Oh my God.
I said, even me. And I was stunned, and I stopped in my tracks. And my little dog, little Gunner, he's looking around like little pit bulls do. And I was so stunned, I didn't turn around at first. And when I turned around, there was nobody there. I was the only person on the street.
Oh my God, that is so wild.
I was stunned. And people used to say, she's a person. She's not a dog. Even my son's little friends would say that. And I'd always laugh. But so for your dog, for Ava, she really is in love with you.
Yeah. She is.
You are her world, which, dogs get. They're
seriously, I cannot go anywhere. She just, I have to go. She's so weird. She's a weirdo, but she's in love with me. I always tell her.
So her spine, like I said, you just find out in the doggy world how to help her with her arthritis.
I don't want her to have it. Her sister has it, and she's really doing bad, and she can't walk. And they're thinking of putting her down. And I'm like, oh, what if Ava has that too? Because they're sisters, and it's a genetic disease, and it's
with German Shepherd. But if you treat it as an arthritic, you would be able to help her. And I don't know now that I said that, I'm going to be looking that up myself.
It's called D. It's called. There's a whole. It's the abbreviation. It's called DM. It's a bad disease for German Shepherds, and it usually happens in a bigger breed of dog.
Right. Does it have anything to do with associated with anything like arthritis? Because arthritis gets
It's
into the
like
bone.
LA. What is that? Lou
Lou
Gehrig's
Gehrig's disease?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my ex-husband and his family always had German Shepherds forever, and they always the same thing. It was always the hind legs went out.
Yeah.
You should give her. It's like CoQ10 for him, but they have it for dogs. For their
Something like that. There you go.
Glucose.
Animals
Yeah, I think close. Yeah.
do the acupuncture. You know, the animals really respond well to it. Oh, you must probably have an animal acupuncture somewhere around.
Yeah, they do have that. Yeah, but coming back to her in love with me, I always tease her. I go, "You love Mama? You gonna marry Mama?"
Yeah. And the wonderful thing is when she does transition, she'll still be around you. See, our pets don't want to leave us sad, and so they have a tendency to hang around with us.
Oh, I believe that. I lost a German Shepherd that was killed on my road, and I was devastated. And we had just got. I tell the story all the time because it's so cool. We were getting new doors put on, wooden doors, and we didn't have it painted yet. But when I looked, she died at 2, and he died at 2 in the morning. That morning, like at 10 a.m., on the grains of wood, his face was. Literally, his face was on the grain. It was so creepy, but I wish I would have took the doors with me when we moved, because it was like someone took a snapshot. It was, and everybody would come to the house. They would want to see the door because they knew my dog Caesar. He was vicious, but we had to put him away. We put him in the bathroom, and that's the door that his face was on. It was just so wild. But
was he a big black dog?
Yeah, he was a big German Shepherd. Beautiful.
Okay. But dark, not the the tan and the dark. I saw him around you, and that's why I asked. Was he a big black dog?
Yeah, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
He was a beautiful German Shepherd. I was devastated. I had to sleep with my parents when I was 18. And I was so devastated. I slept with my mom and dad. I was so for months because I was just so upset.
Of course, you were grieving him.
Yeah, it was horrible. I still think of him when I tear up, but I loved him so much. He was my first love.
You just get extra big paws, just bouncing around you.
Well, I'd love to see. Come here, come and sit on Mama's lap.
You're talking about poodles, June. We actually have 4 poodles.
Oh, geez, 4.
Three toy poodles and a standard, and our standard is considered a phantom poodle because he's white and black in a certain pattern. So he's a handful.
Yeah. Well, they're not supposed to live long, and Phoebe lived to 16 and a half because I cooked for her. I wouldn't feed her dog.
Yeah,
I cooked for her.
That's good.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I'm not feeding her dog food.
I did that last year during the shutdown. My dog had a really bad. Her hair was falling out. She was walking, and she's only 3 years old. I rescued her from an abusive situation, but she started getting really sick and I didn't know why. And I started cooking her food for her, and her hair grew back. She became strong again. It's crazy how much.
Yeah. How well they become. And Phoebe really didn't have almost anything to the last maybe a couple of years of her life. Her heart, she had heart problems.
You were a good pet mom. We have Nina. Nina has a question for you. Reading only psychic readings. No more medium readings.
Thank you.
Hi, June. How are you?
Yeah.
Good. So I actually just have a question. I don't know how, plausible this is, but the one thing that I stress about, and I'm sure a lot of moms can understand this, my son, all the time. Since before he was even born. That's what I always stress about. So are you able to do a psychic reading to kind of sort of give me an idea of what his path going forward is sort of going to look like, or, what kind of path he's going to head down?
Well,
is that possible?
I'm going to tell you something, that you're a very intuitive person, and you're a very logical person at the same time. Reason, intuition, and reason. If you could marry the two together, if you could say, what I'm picking up, what I feel is right on, and go from there. And one of the things is presenting your ideas. How do you bring other people into your ideas, feeling that you can trust them? So you've got some real trust issues here. And that has to do with, are my ideas, will people get me? Yes, the right people will get you. You got to put your standards up a little bit with the people that you want to involve in your life. Don't be on the phone to girlfriends that are always having problems. Don't be fixing anybody else unless it's your own babies and children.
Right.
I think you're going to join with a couple of other, at least a couple of other group of women, and begin to come up with creative ideas, thoughtful ideas, but some of them will be practical, so it will bring in some sort of income at the same time.
Okay.
That's what I see. Don't forget that. Write that down.
I won't forget it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And we have V for wants a reading. Only V, we're just doing psychic readings.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't really have anything in specific. Just wondering if you could just pick anything up.
V, it has to do with being willing to communicate a little more clearly with another person, and be willing to say, if I can't get what I want, if I can't get off of you what I need, because you're very sensitive. Are you a water sign?
A water sign?
Yeah, you're like is your birthday in March or July?
No, I'm an Aries.
Oh, you're Aries. Are you a March Aries?
No, April.
There we go. Fellow April Aries.
Because you're a very sensitive person, meaning that you know when somebody else is upset, you know when somebody else is in need, and you might then have to really think about, how can I move along a relationship but stick to what I know I also need? So it has to do about progression, that it's time for you to progress by speaking up and making sure when you speak up, it's not just an Aries demand. I think you've got some probably either a rising sign or something within water. You're just have strong emotions. And how do you convey them, knowing that that's the right thing to do? So really about making a decision and moving forth. If that means letting go of a relationship, letting go of somebody, that's what you're going to have to do.
Okay.
Why do I keep?
I'm not exactly sure what that pertains to, but
when it comes up,
what were you saying?
When you're having a disagreement, instead of holding back, when you are disagreeing with somebody on something, speak up, and you'll sure find out what relationship you have to let go of. And this is upcoming. And so I do think it probably is going to be in the next couple of months that you are probably going to walk away or decide, maybe I should end this relationship or end it as it is.
Okay.
Trish, what were you going to say? You see something?
Oh gosh, no. I keep hearing Forest Service. Do you have any relations to the Forest Service?
Forest?
Yes.
No, not that I know of.
Or know anybody in the Forest Service? Is that how you say that? Like
Forest Service? Give me an example. Give me an example.
Like rangers or
a ranger?
Not military rangers, but forest rangers. Is that what they're called? Forest Service?
Yeah.
Like the guys on the horses?
Well, I don't
know. I just think of a forest ranger on a horse.
It's kind of like police officers in the mountains in the forest.
No, I mean I don't have any. I have a buddy that's who's an actual U.S. Army Ranger, but no.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
I have a Norwegian forest cat. Maybe that's
maybe that's. Maybe that's it.
I was talking about animals. Do you have any animals?
That's all I kept hearing was forest.
We were just talking about animals. Do you have you want a reading for your animals?
I mean, we got three cats. I mean, I'm sure they're something else.
Yeah. That's funny.
Sorry, that it was just really loud. I didn't know maybe it's a cat.
Any other questions for June?
If you were to give someone advice on how to kind of get in touch with their intuition and possible like spirit guides, what would that be?
Oh, I love that one. Yeah. ESP, I taught that for years. Start out with the telepathy and, test yourself. Like, who's going to get in touch with you? Or did someone say something that you projected out there? The whole thing is figuring out if you're a sender or a receiver. Where are you? You're better at sending or you're better at receiving? I have a whole little quiz, a little test like that. Maybe you can get in touch with me, Via, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I would like that. I have
That will really help you find out more of how you're using. Well, we all have it. We all use it. It's just a matter of what. And that will grow the psychic mind more. Then you become more aware.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. That'd be really nice.
That's how animals, you communicate with animals more telepathically. Humans want to tell you everything. They're verbal. But animals are more, and that's the guides, the spirit guides. Open up and say, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive you and guide me. And what do you want a guide to do? Do you want a guide to walk with you in the forest?
That sounds like a fun plan. That's definitely
Take range.
Yeah, so you can email me at chasingprophecyradio@gmail.com and I will send me and I'll forward the email to June.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Jen. That's a good way.
Thanks, V.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Hey, June, I have a question for you. Do you foresee any psychic readings or foresee anything for my almost 2-year-old by chance?
What's his name? Her name? His name?
His name is Jet. Jett.
Yeah, Jet. That's a good name for him because he's going to continue to develop this real sense of like twin energy. That he himself feels like, well, there were two of us, but I just came through, and he has a real connection to. Well, we were talking about spirit guides and angels and all of that. This is what I did with my son. I never dismissed anything he told me, about his psychic connections and like that. He's a really funny kid. He is funny. and he wants to, he shows his love through his funniness. Like he just loves to see people happy. He's a really lovely little child, and he's going to continue. The challenge will be that he will love people, but kids can be mean. Other kids can be mean. It's amazing when I've seen it with my son and then my grandchildren, and that you want to teach them that some people are just not happy people, but you're really happy, Jet.
All right.
He's just a really happy human being.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah. And the more that you watch little like SpongeBob or cartoons together and everything, I mean, he'll just crack you up. You'll laugh because he's laughing.
Yeah. I've had some of that. We've had some of that for sure. He just runs around having a good time and starts laughing. You start laughing, you can't help it.
Who's the really tall? Who for mother or father? Really tall. This kid's going to be tall.
I'm 6'2".
Oh, I was going to say it's going to be okay. I was just going to say it's going to be over. Okay, because boy, I just see this growing. Like, whoa, this is going to be tall.
He'll be 2 in May, and he's already 3 foot tall and about 30 pounds.
Yeah, he's tall, and maybe get him into something where he can really use his body. Like muscles. He's got a body.
All right.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Does he drink goat's milk?
Goat's milk.
Who him? No.
Jason.
No, he doesn't drink.
Why am I getting such weird? Like maybe he needs to. I don't know. I'm getting.
Oh, that ain't good.
Whoa, Sean just snuck in.
I lost my camera.
We better go find it.
Hey, June, being raised and going to Catholic school, how do you feel about? I mean, have you ever got any flack from doing readings and mediumship? Being a Catholic, or are you still a Catholic?
I'm not. I'm no longer a practicing Catholic. It has
Okay.
not, doesn't fulfill. I'm not against it. I think if that's what someone can live with joy and peace, that's what they should practice. It doesn't fulfill me. I practice with the Rosicrucians, and that is more of a fellowship. It's not a religion.
Never
And
heard of that.
oh, you ought to check them out.
Rosicrucian.
You ought to check them out.
How do you pronounce it again?
Rosicrucians, Rosicrucian, like I'm in a spelling test here. Okay. Rosicrucians, they're worldwide.
I'll have to check it out.
It's not a religion. You don't, they call themselves the walking question mark. You take what you want and don't take what you want. And they have a beautiful temple, Egyptian temple in San Jose, California. Yeah, and since the pandemic, they have just multiplied with people joining them. They're all over the world, most places. I think they're even in Russia. Yeah, they're all over the world. And it's a study group. It's a metaphysical group. Like, how can we show you? And they study all kinds of different people, from the Dalai Lama to Jesus to all kinds of people throughout history. Francis Bacon, everything. It's an interesting group because you are free to think for yourself, and they don't have a dogma.
Oh, that's good. I want to just thank our sponsors, Carnation, for sponsoring this hour. Thank you very much, Carnation. If you have a chance, go check them out. Make some pie. It's the perfect time to make pie with Carnation, and they have a great breakfast drink too. Thank you, Carnation.
Thank you, Carnation.
Anybody else have a mini reading for the last 20 minutes?
June.
Sledgehammer, I just have one more thing to say.
Ooh, okay.
Your son, he's really susceptible to sugar, even sugar in fruit. So be very, very careful of his sugar intake. It just will, he just gets high from it. We all do, but he's very susceptible to a sugar intake. As I said, even in fruit, because I see little apricots and stuff around him. It's like, okay, let him have one, but don't let him have too many.
Okay, yeah, we usually try to feed him very well and keep him away from like sweets. But when grandma gets them, there's cookies and donuts. And
grandma, blame it on grandma.
But we do give him like a balance between like fruit and vegetables, and you can tell sometimes he gets a little out there. It's giving us exercise, that's for sure.
June, I was going to ask you, when you had your near-death experience, and you don't have to answer this if it's too personal, but did anything, I guess, what was your experience with that during the almost transition?
Well, I'll answer. It's in my book anyway, so everybody else knows. It was incredible. So I went what I believe is the other side, and I was standing. It makes me laugh because I was looking at Ricky Nelson, the garden party. Relatives were on the other side, and relatives that I didn't personally know because we came to this country when I was 6. So I don't, really knew all the relatives, the uncles and such. And on the other side, there were all these relatives, and they were it was blissful. Of all my meditation and all my hallucinatory trips, and everything, I've never achieved that blissfulness. Mm-hmm. And it was very light. I stood outside. There was an iron gate in front of me, ornate gate, and I just wanted to go there. I wanted to go inside the amount of peace and joy that was there. I wanted in my life. And my grandparents came up to the gate, and they turned around and they went like this: "Not now, June. Not now." And so I came back, I came back with my abilities to do some work. If I could do some good on planet Earth, that's how I looked at it. But I wanted to be there. Yeah. And I don't really talk about this, and I've only talked about it now that I'm an old lady. And that is, so after that, I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because I wanted to go back there so bad. I've never really publicly hardly ever talk about this, but I think it's important for people to know you're here and you're here for a purpose. Don't try to end it too soon.
Oh, I agree. That's it's so different when you come back to the real world and you're like, back at it, you know. But then you find purpose and meaning and a reason to help others and keep going.
Yeah. And we're all
Hey,
here to
June.
do something. Yes,
June.
Sean.
Could
Glad
you?
you're still with us.
Yeah, I lost my camera.
He's here in spirit.
You can't see the pretty face. But
You're doing us a favor. Thank you, buddy.
love you too, Jason. June, my son is 31. His name is Paul. Okay, and I was wondering what if you see what's going on with him.
Did he? Is he in the midst of a troubled relationship or a troubled job? Like, is he troubled?
Yes, very much, very much.
Yeah. Wanting to feel that he has more control over his life, that he's actually being heard, or not heard. Maybe not heard. I think it's more like he needs acknowledgement, appreciation for who he is, regardless of whatever it is. You know, that he feels like he wants to feel like he's the man. He's a man. Right. He wants to be a man. I think that restrictions around him, or he believes the restrictions around him, that people are not seeing him. I don't. Have he tried something and he tried to make it work and it just dashed? It didn't work. How do you bring him back up again? How do you say, shit? Oh, I can't say that on radio, right? Stuff happens, and that's his part of life. And you're a good person, and he's smart. He's smart, that's for sure. And you can come up with something else. You know what would help him is to actually take a trip. Maybe he would like to go to Scotland or Ireland, especially maybe Ireland pulls him. And just to be around people that are different than where he's at. I don't feel him in a really great place of where he's at.
Right. No, he's out in Indiana, and the company that he's working for, he was under a 2-year contract. So that contract's coming up. And he wants to go back into Columbus, Ohio, and work in that area.
Yeah. He just changed the atmosphere, changed where he's at, but it's bothering him. I mean, he's upset about it. It's not like the company's over. He seems like he's distraught. Yeah. I would say but he's a smart guy. He's got to remember. Listen, you got this far, you get even farther.
Right. Oh yeah, he'll get there. He'll get there. He did get his PhD in microbiology out of Ohio State, so that's why
he's smart. This guy is smart.
Yeah, he's smart. Yeah.
If he got with a smaller, even a smaller group of people, then he would go into that scientific place.
Right.
You know, that's a good scientific place.
Thank you very much, June. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We're coming down to the closeout soon, guys.
Oh, hey, June, you were talking about Jet with sugar there. My wife messaged me. I forgot he had some fruit before bedtime, right? So we're trying to get him ready for bed, and he's just dancing and being just a total wild man. Like, it was like, please burn this off and go to sleep. We didn't even really think about it, just trying to give him a little snack before bedtime. And I it definitely makes sense what you were saying about that. Like, there's the wound up toddler, and then there's the wound up toddler.
Yeah.
He definitely hit that status.
You have to be careful with sugar.
Yeah, like I said, we try to give him like organic fruits and stuff. And we didn't really think about, too much about the natural sugars, but it essentially does the same thing. So we might have to cut some more up before bedtime. Oh boy.
We're gonna have to let you go, June.
June, thank you very much.
June. Thank you very much.
We're gonna have you come on again.
Yes, please come back.
Come back.
What's the name of your book that it teaches you how to be a psychic? Don't you have one that does
I have
that?
2 books, nonfiction books. I have 4 books, but 2 are nonfiction. One is How to Talk with Spirits. Seances, mediums, and ghost hunts. It goes through everything. And the other one is The Timeless Counselor. It tells you how to go get the most from a reading and what to ask and how to ask it. there's a certain way of asking questions to get the most from readers, and everything. I mean, what do you do?
Want a personal, you don't do personal readings anymore?
No, I don't. I'm retired.
Well, thank you for coming on. If you're retired, we did our little
Thank you.
our mini readings.
But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're always more than welcome to come back.
I had a good time. Thank you.
All right,
You have a
good
great night. Well, that
All
was
right.
very interesting.
And there were 4.
My cat liked her a lot. He never stays, and he sat here for a while.
That's nice.
It's weird. Right as June was leaving, my dog jumped out of my lap, so that was weird.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, Thor never gets. I mean, he'll once in a great while he'll come on.
Like, I don't even know where he went. my dog just disappeared.
But when she was talking, Thor was almost like falling asleep, and I'm like, that's like he doesn't really like the different voices and stuff usually.
Yeah, it was an interesting night. And anybody got it off topic? Anybody?
Sure, here's one. Let me see. I have a heart. A real
I've
heart.
seen all that creepy stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, but our listeners haven't.
Whose heart is that?
I can't tell you who it came from because I'm not allowed to disclose that information.
But
it's a very real heart. Very real.
Aren't you kind of I mean, I don't think I'd like to have somebody else's heart in my house.
Why
and the
not?
owner's
Why
standing
not?
right behind you. No,
what?
I'm just kidding.
I can show a mummified bat. I have a mummified bat.
No, I don't want to get coronavirus from that.
Oh,
let me see if I can reach it. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I didn't want to get. Sometimes I don't feel like messing with my green screen.
Here is my mummified bat.
That is so creepy.
That is so cool.
That's very real.
Oh man, I'd be worried it might turn into a vampire.
I'm trying to get the reflection off the screen here. There he
That's
is.
creepy as hell.
It was weird.
I feel like, did somebody kill that, or did they find it like that? Like with his mouth? I don't know.
Well, it's taxidermied, so.
Well, right, but still.
Yeah, where'd you get the heart at? Whose heart is it? Is it a human heart?
I'm not allowed to disclose this information.
It's kind of creepy.
I signed a waiver on that. I can't disclose.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
But I tell you what, there was about 4 or 5 of those bats, and I don't know what it was about this one, but do you ever have something just reach out to you like this is the right one?
Yeah.
Like they all look relatively. There's just
the last
different.
guy I dated with.
Yeah, I was gonna say that that never ends well when it's kind of the same, Jason. Like you're gonna be haunted by this bat because it's kind of the same as someone being like, "Oh, trust me, it's okay. Trust me."
Yeah, bats.
I love it. It's my little buddy.
Will Jason be haunted? Come on.
But no, they are naturally sourced animals. There's no harm, no foul. That's the flea market 8-ball.
Here we go.
Without hesitation, yes.
You're gonna be haunted.
Yep, see, it's the flea market 8-ball.
Definitely. Yeah. You will
Does
be
it
haunted.
ever say no, Jen? Does that thing ever say no?
I don't know. Why don't you ask a question? Is
The answer is unclear. Try again.
I didn't even ask. Well, is this Trish? Trish have ghosts in her house?
Oh Lord.
It is best not to say now.
I was just possessed last weekend, so
By who?
Ask later when the time is right.
It's just waiting for you, man. Waiting for you.
Well, I have an off
Did
topic.
Sean almost need a trip to the hospital?
Oh yes. Did Sean almost have to go to the hospital?
Everything points to no.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go,
Oh,
Sean.
there's
You
my
asked if it
nose.
says no. Yeah, there it goes.
Cool.
My off topic is it's my birthday tomorrow.
I know that. Happy
Oh.
birthday.
What is it, 63 you said?
No. Getting there.
No. 29.
I have one
and
more
holding.
year. One more year. I have one more year
29 and
before my 60th birthday. One
Yeah,
more year.
mine's
Well,
coming up in
congratulations. You
June.
made it this far. Happy birthday.
So far,
Happy
yeah, I
birthday.
made it. Yeah, I'm an old hag,
Is,
but whatever.
is that why you're depressed tonight?
Oh no, I have to have surgery on my eye again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But
Yeah.
for the record, I honestly didn't know that. I thought
You'll
you
be
were
a
almost
pirate.
50.
Oh well, thank you, Trish.
I'm not. I'm
Thank
not
you.
rude like these other two.
There's two asses.
What do you mean? We say congratulations. She made it.
I started. Are you going to be proud of me? I am building a better relationship with food.
Good.
I am not doing keto anymore or carnivore. I am counting calories, and I got this cool journal, and you can get it too.
Just a badass bitch.
Badass bitch getting fit.
Oh wow!
And I think it's cool.
Good.
Sean, I don't think macaroni and cheese with spam is in there.
Oh, that was the best, but I did at least a pound of that
So,
today.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I joined the gym again.
Good.
No more crazy diets. I'm going to try to eat healthy and track calories. And I lost 7 pounds in 1 week. So there goes.
Good
I broke
job.
I broke my plateau.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Because I can't wait to go eat breakfast.
My off topic is how far do you think the price of gas is going to go up?
$10 a gallon.
By summer?
Oh my God.
$10.
$10.
I like all the memes you see. Somebody post like a 5-gallon jug of gas, be like, "We'll trade for pontoon boat or muscle car." I know what I have.
I want to get a moped. Well, you know what's funny and embarrassing that Biden called. This is funny. Biden called the Saudis up to try to bargain with them, and they didn't answer his phone call. He left a message. I would have hung up.
Seriously. I mean, how
Thank
about
you,
the
Rhonda.
one meme where people are saying that they applied for a bank loan to get a tank of gas, or someone
Well,
put in.
I tell you what, like I said, the truck I drive every day, it's a diesel, and we got to fill it up almost daily with 70 to 90 gallons, and $5.25 a gallon.
Wow.
My butt hurts for my boss checking account.
Well, you know what's sad, guys, is this is how I see it. Okay, we just got out of this crazy pandemic. I'm not wearing a mask anymore. Everybody's not wearing their mask. And now we can go out and have fun and go places. It's going to cost us. We can't because the gas is so outrageous now that, who's can afford to go on vacation this year? We don't know. It just seems like we get one thing and there's another thing.
Well, what did June say? It's just going to be.
It's going to get worse.
Worse, yeah.
It gets worse before it gets better.
That's what
Hey, they always say, don't worry about the stuff you can't control. So just
exactly.
go with
I
it.
can't control anything anymore, it seems.
I have an amazing off topic for you all. The three of you will love this, actually.
Okay.
A spider as big as the palm of your hand could soon invade the East Coast, scientists say.
Is it those ones that are what did they call those? I just saw them. Were they like yellow or black?
The massive Joro spider.
There's no way in hell he's coming over here because I cannot stand spiders.
It's predominantly yellow. Can get as big as the palm of your hands. First spotted in Georgia in 2013. They originated in Asia. And
no, thank you.
But in nearly 10 years, it rapidly spread and now is found on the all up the coast there.
Well,
so
I'll tell you this on Weird Creatures. The one place I used to work at, when we would get shipping crates in from other countries.
That's what it said. It said it was from shipping crates.
Yeah, there'd be like weird snakes and spiders and just stuff that is native to this area or this country even. And it's like, whoa, get me away from that. I don't want to test that up.
In the produce department, they get banana spiders.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wait, do the bananas have the spiders?
Yeah, they're in the box that the bananas are.
I just started to love bananas again.
It's compared to the banana spider because it's yellow, but it's much bigger. But don't worry, it won't be where y'all are at until like summertime because they don't like the cold.
Well, wasn't it they brought the stink bugs over to control the ladybugs, and now the stink bugs are out of control?
Well,
they're from another country.
I never touched I love ladybugs.
I like ladybugs too.
They're magical, aren't they?
Oh, Another bad thing on this is kind of completely off the topic of that, but speaking of animals and bugs, and
Who's
they're
blocking people?
Joe.
I don't know.
Joe
Are
is.
they bad?
Yeah.
there
What do
were
they do?
Maybe
there's been
spammers.
stories all coming out all over, and I assume from the war and everything bad going on, and I get that, but of like animal sacrifices. It was one in a really bad one found. It might have been Pennsylvania. or New
They're
York.
sacrificing animals. These
Well,
like
but
kids.
well, here's the thing. For I assume due to the
You guys don't do that?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's clear this up first of all, because I don't want
witches don't do that.
It's not in my creed to harm to none is my personal
Do
so
no
I don't
harm.
want to spread like I don't but this has been coming up so much that and I find it very almost offensive that in journalism and the media and papers and everything they say there's been a sacrificial, or they believe it to be a sacrificial ritual of witches or this or that, but that's completely untrue because there's so many other groups, cults and all kinds of things that have nothing to do that are not witches. Like I said, most witches' creeds obviously harm to none. So that's probably going to be a big issue here coming up because I've seen it now multiple times since the the conflict started. So
oh my God.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about people. People are not right.
You don't do. I don't know. You don't. Some people are crazy and they just do things for attention. I think.
That's the way I look
then
at
I
it.
had another funny epiphany on a lighter note when my daughter was playing with a poppet. Do you know the little like poppet things? You pop the little bubbles. Kids have their plastic.
Yeah, we got.
Well, now they're making them in the shape of like people and stuff and heads and everything. And I was she's like, Mom, aren't poppets like those things that you do if you want to like heal yourself or something? And then there's some rituals that other certain people do that if you want to, where it represents a person, right? Like a poppet. And I was like, oh, that's clever because it's shaped like a human and you're popping. It's essentially the same thing.
Oh, wow.
So I find that hilarious.
One more thing with me. I back in 2012, I did 13 episodes of Raw Fear, and I found the CDs and I had them transferred onto a hard drive, and I downloaded it to my computer. So starting next week, I'm going to be putting up a show once a week. They do have the commercials and
where are you putting them at?
On Pittsburgh Paranormal, and if you want to put it on your YouTube, I'll do it too. But I'm looking forward to it.
What was it about?
We took a bunch of kids who never ghost hunt before in their lives, and we took them on 13 investigations, and just to see how they progressed, and they did pretty decent. And what's really crazy is we only used a K2 meter and a mel meter. But what was really cool about it is seeing as the episodes went on how they were starting to enjoy and like and really get into it. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Do you know any of them that are still doing it, still involved?
Nah, they're not. They're all young married kids, and they have no time for paranormal stuff no more.
No.
But I thought that was a nice thing to do.
That was a nice thing to do.
God bless you, Sean.
We will definitely put that on. And thank you so much for joining us tonight on Chasing Prophecy Radio. You can find us every week at this time, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, every Tuesday. We're going to sign off, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining Torture Tuesday.
Good night.